Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I want to answer a question that I sometimes get from clients, and that is, have I waited too late to file for bankruptcy? And as you probably know, filing bankruptcy nowadays is done electronically, so when someone comes to my office and we gather all the paperwork, in order to file it, I literally press a button on a computer keyboard and we file it. The old days when I had to go down to court and wait in line, those days are over. It can be done 2 o'clock in the morning. But there are still times when it may be too late to file. And obviously, as a big picture rule, the earlier you seek legal help and legal advice about your debt problems, the better. Waiting until the last minute is never a good idea. But a couple of times when it is too late, and I'm specifically talking about Georgia law, would be after your house is foreclosed. Under Georgia law, once title is passed in foreclosure, there's really not a whole lot you can do. And I guess there may be some state law remedies where if you can show there was fraud or some sort of issue with the foreclosure, you can try to get it undone, but that's a very long and expensive process. But for the most part, bankruptcy is not going to help you undo a foreclosure. So once the foreclosure has been completed, you're pretty much out of luck. So don't wait until after the foreclosure to call a bankruptcy lawyer. By the same token, same concept, if you had a vehicle repossessed, Georgia has something called a 10-day rule, where after the lender gives you a 10-day notice they're going to sell it at auction, then they sell it at auction, title passes. Once that 10 days has gone by and the property, your vehicle is sold at auction, you're just not going to get it back. So if your vehicle is repossessed, get on the phone immediately, call a lawyer, call me, call somebody, and say, okay, my vehicle is repossessed, what can I do to get it back? If you wait 3 months, there's nothing we can do to get it back. So again, getting a vehicle back, it's really important to move very quickly and not to wait. It can be too late if you wait till after the vehicle's been sold at the auction, assuming that the lender has gone through the right process. And even if the lender did not go through the right process, more likely than not, a judge is not going to ask a bona fide innocent third-party purchaser to turn that vehicle back over. You may have recourse against the repossessing lender or the repossession company, but again, that's a whole long road to follow. It could get expensive, no guarantees. It's a lot easier to try to get the vehicle back shortly after repossession, when you can use the power of the bankruptcy court to do so, than to wait and sit on your rights until after the vehicle's already gone. A third time I sometimes see an issue is when people wait too late to get their credit counseling. As you know, in Georgia, foreclosures happen on the first Tuesday of the month. If you need to file bankruptcy and you wait until Monday to try to get your credit counseling certificate, you may find that there's no vendors available because they get real busy. The credit counseling vendors get really, really busy the last couple of days before foreclosure day, and if you can't get your certificate before you file, you're not going to be allowed to file at all. So be very careful about not waiting, and I would tell you that if you're in foreclosure in a classic or typical situation, you're negotiating with the bank about possibly doing a forbearance, but you're waiting to hear back from the bank, but you're not sure if you're gonna, go ahead and get that credit counseling certificate. It'll cost you $25. It's good for, I think, 180 days, and that way you've got your certificate. You're ready to go in case you need to file bankruptcy. You don't have to wait and try to get it at the very last minute. It's not a good idea to wait. If you wait too late and you can't get it, you will effectively be barred from going to court. It's not a good enough excuse to say, I didn't have time to get it. If you can't get it because there's no vendors, that's one thing, and that's really not likely to happen in Atlanta, but especially because they're on the internet. But if you just waited too late, that's not a good enough reason. You would be barred from the courthouse in that situation. And the last time, which is going to be pretty unlikely, would be if you filed 2 or more cases in the last year, and now this is your 3rd filing, the automatic stay does not go into effect unless you file a motion to ask the court to put it into effect. So if you've got a pending foreclosure next week, you've already filed 2 bankruptcy cases, either on your own or with a lawyer who didn't properly complete them. Now we're ready to file, everything looks good, but we file a 3rd case, there's no automatic stay, and I'm not going to have time to get into court before the actual foreclosure date. So if you've had multiple filings and you think you need to file again, I would tell you to contact a lawyer sooner rather than later. Try to line somebody up, because getting a lawyer to do a third case at the last minute is going to be very, very difficult. So other than those type of situations, for the most part, you can file any time, but as in the case with anything, time is like money. So the less you wait until the last minute, the better. And filing bankruptcy, you can really file at any time. That creates an automatic stay in most cases, and it will stop anything bad from happening. But trying to undo stuff is a lot more difficult than preventing it in the first place. And that's really the big message here, is it's a lot easier for me to stop something from happening, stop a foreclosure, repossession, wage garnishment, than it is to try to get your money back, get your car back, that sort of thing. So just be aware of that, proceed carefully, and again, when it comes to filing bankruptcy, the sooner you can talk to a lawyer, the better. That's it for right now. Again, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I hope this has been helpful, and until next time, I'll talk to you soon.